Hey, what's going on there, YouTube? Marcus Levy, the Angry Ranter, here for vlog 19 in the Tarv vlog series. I figured today, just because I'm coming back from work now, and I've just been went through a little bit of a situation just personally on the bus, and I'll get into it in a second. I want to talk about pet peeves in today's video. Take a look, it's gorgeous out here. I'm on my way home from work. Probably just going to take a short nap for a couple hours when I get into the house, and then get up and do stuff during the day. So, the first thing, I want to mention just a couple of pet peeves of mine that I have. And of course, feel free to comment below any pet peeves that you also have, because I would like to know for my viewers what's going on. So this little bad boy, my wallet. It's a minimalist wallet. It's very small. Has one little section for the cards, a little section for money or documentation or whatever. Right now, currently taken up by documentation. So, my first pet peeve I want to mention is when, and this is more something I do. It's not something anybody else has done to me, per se. But the first one I want to mention is when I put something in the wrong pocket. I had that mini heart attack moment because I put it in the jacket pocket instead of in my pant pocket, and I freaked out. I was like, oh my god, where is it? And I'm thinking back, I'm like, oh well, I remember, I had to tap it to get on this bus, this specific bus, so it couldn't have gone far. So I stopped and I was patting around, and eventually I found it. But that mini heart attack moment I had because I was friggin' half asleep on the bus because I'm exhausted. I just had a bit of a freak out moment is all, but all's well that ends well. But I have a little arrangement. It's phone in right pocket, wallet, keys, and miscellaneous in left pocket, and then jacket pockets have their own, headphones and other media in here, Kleenexes and tissues in this pocket, sunglasses go on an inner pocket. We've all got our own little systems for organization. And I freak out, and we all have that mini freak out moment, but it's a pet peeve of mine when that happens because I've lost things too many times because I've, set it down and not thought, did I put this away in the spot that it's supposed to be? The second one that I have, and this is definitely not something I do, but it's drivers who at stoplights or stop signs come to a rolling stop instead of a full stop right as I'm about to cross, and then give me crap for essentially having the right of way. It's my fault that the law says that because I'm not in a 1-ton metal death trap on wheels that, it's my fault that I am in the way or whatever. I've gotten into too many arguments with random drivers, nearly gotten into a number of fights with a number of drivers, gotten flipped off by a fair number of drivers, and done my fair share of bird flippage myself, to these blatant morons who think that they own the road. And it's the one thing about getting into eventually driving that scares me, is that every person on the road thinks that they're the only person on the road, and that they're the only person who deserves to be on the road. And then you have these people who I guess must have had dreams of Formula 1 racing because they gun it on even the streets where it says don't go faster than 40. Like the street that I live on, it's a 40-kilometer-an-hour speed limit, but I definitely see people doing 60 or 80. And then they get upset when I'm walking on an inner street, we're not a main road, so it's not going to be 80, but we're also, and we're literally a cut between, there's a much larger circular road, and then our road cuts between that, and people always use our dinky little street as a way of getting to their house faster. But both streets are 40, and people gun it every time. And the number of times I've nearly died 10 feet from my house, ridiculous. My third pet peeve, and of course, this is an episode of the Angry Ranter show, that I'm definitely going to be getting into at some point, probably in July or something, when we're more smack dab in the middle of summer. I hate cyclists in general. Just in general. First off, they think they own the road when, I'm sorry, if it came down to a jousting show off of car versus bike, bro on the bike is done. The second the car hits the bike, buddy's done. Injury and or death. Number two, a lot of people on their bikes don't signal, like with the hand gestures. I know the hand gestures. I used to have a bike. But a lot of people don't signal, period, to let anybody know they're turning or anything. They just go, and then they nearly cause accidents, or they do cause accidents. They also cut in front of people. People on their bikes also are on the sidewalks, where that's actually illegal. It's illegal in this city if you are over the age of 16 to have your bike on the sidewalk. The number of kids under 18 who don't wear helmets, that's also illegal. The lack of, bells, ding ding, on people's bikes, that's also illegal. And of course, the lack of signaling, just in general, that I get from a cyclist who's coming up behind me, and they all make it seem like it's my fault for, oh no, I was already walking on this sidewalk before you came up behind me at friggin' 25 clicks and almost broke my neck by running into me. Because I'm saying this right now, and I can be held to it. If a cyclist nails me on the sidewalk where they're not supposed to be, I'm suing them for everything. And I will want to have them watch their bike get crushed by a hydraulic press. And I will want to watch them watch that happen. So listen, cyclists, don't mess with me, because I'm not joking. I have nothing wrong with longboarders and skateboarders and stuff like that. I myself have a longboard, and I'm going to definitely get out on it soon. And maybe I'll do a couple of vlogs while I'm on the board. You never know. But I know those are just some pet peeves that I have. Another one, a last one, a final one that I have involves our public transportation. Bus drivers who don't pay attention to their routes when they're on them. The number of times that I see a bus driver, somebody dings the bell, and they either blow past the stop because they're not paying attention, or they're stopped at the stop and they don't open the door for the people who are standing there. Now, granted, and I saw this happen, there were 3 morons standing at the back door waiting for the door to be unlocked, and none of these bloody morons said a goddamn thing. It was somebody sitting down, not wanting to get up, who had to say, back door. Like, come on, people. And it's one of my biggest pet peeves about transportation, and partially the reason there'll probably be a Busing Troubles Part 2 episode, where I'm gonna go specifically hardcore onto busing etiquette, because too many fucking people don't understand. I'm sorry for the swear there, YouTube, but I had to. Too many people just don't understand how to ride the bus. And you'd think, because they've done it for years, that people would figure this stuff out, but they don't. And some people might think I'm a bit of a dink when I ride the bus. I'm just looking out for me. And you have to. Because if you don't, you're going to end up giving stuff to people who have done nothing to ask for it. Like if I have heavy bags and stuff, and you want the seat next to me, and you're just going to stand there and stare at it like a lifeless moron. You haven't opened your mouth to express anything. We have language for a reason. It's to use it. And that's another one of my biggest problems. But we'll save that for another time, perhaps. So again, comment below what some of your biggest pet peeves are. I would like to know. Yeah, and a new episode of the Angry Ranter Show coming up tomorrow, Wishy Washy White Privilege, with Deanna. We shall be doing that episode tomorrow. Coming at it from a different perspective, because most of the people who comment on things like white privilege are people who have been affected by it in the wrong sense, and are often not white people. So we're going to take an informed white people's kind of point of view and pick it apart. Should be a great time. Gonna prep for that today. All right, do check out the last episode of the show, Trashy Techie Tirade, as well as maybe even the one before that, the one on ethics that I did for episode 10. Do check me out on Twitter at Levy_Marcus, Instagram at the Angry Ranter 2019, and I'll see yous tomorrow for vlog 20, where I'm going to talk about future plans. All right, peace out.